How can you tell if a person is a douchebag? If they're the never in the wrong kind of person. I don't mean someone that has an inability to admit they're incorrect, which is also douchey, but the kind of person, even when caught dead to rights, will find a way to claim no wrongdoing. I once caught a college roommate going through a care package my mother had sent me, happily eating the baked goods, perusing the clothing she'd sent, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And he goes, I thought you said I could have some. I'd received the package a day earlier, when he wasn't even around, and had put it under my bed while still sealed. Yet he thought that I thought you said I could have some shit would work. He even told me to chill the fuck out when I got righteously angry. So glad the jackass flunked out in the first semester. The chill the fuck out response is 10x more infuriating than the actual crime. That there takes some restraint. This baffles me, like, what are people like that even trying to achieve? Don't they know they will look so much better if they simply apologize? I would genuinely like to know about the psychology behind that kind of behavior. Edit, typos. Everything is a competition. You say you had a long day and you're tired? Well, their day was harder and they're more tired. This is my co-worker. Finally told my boss about this and he was like, oh yeah, don't worry, I've noticed that too. I'll deal with it. A one-upper, eh? Well, I work with someone who's a two-upper. My boss at work is a three-upper and he calls me on weekends to rub it in. Your boss was like, you noticed it? Well, I noticed it first. The amount of weird, tough guy window stickers on the back window of their vehicle. Knockoff Calvin peeing on another knockoff Calvin. Two Calvins foot to head, pissing at each other in an infinite 69 into eternity. This sounds like it could have cart. Dude, might need some rewording for context, but I'm adding that to my deck. Poor listening skills, and if they're intent on making you do something you don't want. Sounds like manipulation. I have ADHD. I do too. So I'd give people the benefit of the doubt or just think they have a bad memory and that's why they gaslight you or lie or remember things completely differently. But a lot of narcissists prey on neurodivergent people because they realize we just think they are being normal. Still cut people some slack, but look out for red flags. In a conversation, if they often use phrases like not to brag, but, and or are constantly making empty threats. Not to brag, but I ate a sandwich once. Don't threaten me with a good time. 5 more minutes of this and I'm going to get mad. It's not my fault that this happening. The acid test is always how they interact with waiters/waitresses. When I'm on acid it's hard for me to tell the staff from the bar, so I generally stay out of public places. I fell in love that night, her eyes the color of mahogany, her teeth like well cared for but decades old brass. I would like to buy your book, please. 50 Shots of Grey Goose? They decide whether or not a shitty comment they made was just a joke based on people's reaction. Schrodinger's douchebag. It is both a joke and serious until the reaction of the people is gauged. Schrodinger's prat. Schrodinger's twat? That's exactly what it's called, lol. Can't stand those kinds of people. Nothing is ever their fault, it's always someone else's. You run into an asshole in the morning, you ran into an asshole. You run into assholes all day, then you're the asshole. If it smells like shit everywhere you go, you should probably check your shoe. Or move the hell away. Some places, it really is everyone else, as I've recently learned. Yup, this is a thing. Sometimes it's a whole statistical area or group and it's time to get out of there. There's a noticeable correlation between poor socioeconomic status and crime, drugs, behavior, etc. How they treat anyone performing any service for them. Servers, taxi drivers, etc. So true. My wife's father gave her advice as a young girl that I always thought summed it up well: if he is nice to you but not nice to the waitress, he is not a nice person. Succinct and highly accurate. Concise and extremely true. Smart father. They go out on a Saturday night and if they're not getting laid then they're fighting someone. With severe detail being shared every Monday. Severe detail. Sounds like a cool band name. Flesh must contact flesh at one velocity or another. Unexpected Patton Oswalt. The decal stickers on their vehicles is usually a giveaway. That's why you have a shit ton of random, contradicting shit on your car that makes absolutely zero sense. Just confuse the shit out of people. I have a sticker on the back window of my truck that says no fun. I get asked a lot about that one. I don't even know why I have it on there. I generally like fun lol. For a good whole minute I was wondering why using decals on Warhammer 40k miniatures made me a douchebag. Tell me you're a nerd without telling me you're a nerd. Watch out, they treat retail workers and restaurant employees. Or anyone else. Whenever I ask out a retail worker for treats, they refuse. The store I work at has signs saying please don't tip. I am one of the people who get the buggies from the lot, and it seems most people don't know what we do because we also make sure bathrooms are cleaned at least once every 2 hours, stock eggs, milk and ice, help people put groceries in their car and unload the trucks, and help bag groceries. We are massively overworked and in my opinion underpaid. When they get defensive and or aggro at the drop of a hat. That is, however, the sign of a good tank, and as a DPS main, I approve. Making fun of people for no reason. If when squeezed shoots water. This redditor douches. Some don't, unfortunately. Also has no business getting up in a vagina. Mine goes up my ass. Do they go out of their way to annoy people? Everyone is gonna have a bad day, make a mistake, etc. But if you go out of your way to cause something bad, douche. I knew someone who calls over the waiter while they're busily tuning around, to then just look at the menu going I think they genuinely do it on purpose. They lack self-awareness and have the inability to sympathize with others. By the cockiness and condensing tone of voice. You mean condescending, right? It means talk down to someone. Thanks for condensing it. Take my upvote and be gone. By the way they treat others. Better yet, how they treat others that they perceive as lesser or have some kind of authority over. Some people can fake it when they feel like they have to. The way people speak to wait staff, cashiers, students, or employees is a dead giveaway to the status of their inner douchebag. Say what you want about religion, but for what you do to the least of your brothers and sisters, you do unto me is a fantastic quote. That book does have some notable quotes, I'll grant you that. If they use the word alpha. I'm a mathematician/physicist/engineer and use this word a lot. For example, the Klobuchar ionospheric model amplitude coefficients are designated with alphas. Guess you're a douche then. Deleted. But I like Wolfram Alpha and the alphabet. They have to be the center of attention whether small or big occasions. This being obnoxiously loud, showing off, etc. Second would be acts different around various people, to once again show off. I met one of these a couple weeks ago on a Friday night. He was visiting out of town from a military-based expedition, to which I wholeheartedly can respect. I guess he took this as an invite to make the entire night about him or something, because it became completely impossible to hold a conversation with the dude. There were 9 of us, but if anyone even made the slightest interjection to contribute to the conversation, he seemed to make it a point to talk over them and keep going with whatever dumbass bullshit he had been spewing all night. We mostly gave him the time of day, sitting and patiently listening to his antics, but it seemed like we were pulling away from him in groups of 2s or 3s the whole night through just to have some one-on-one time and genuinely converse with each other. He single-handedly ruined the whole night for everyone else because of his absurd amount of pride. I find if someone constantly blames their hardship/problems/etc. on other people, they are usually a douchebag. Brings an acoustic guitar to a house party. When I was a grad student, I taught undergrad classes. I was just a baby teacher, but I'd like to think this is when I found my footing. A freshman brought his acoustic guitar to class and said he was going to play some John Mayer. I said, deadpan, if you do that I will give you an F. I joke around a lot as a teacher, so everyone laughed. I never would have done that, and I would rightly have been reported if I had. but he never brought that damn guitar back. What kind of dumbass thinks they can interrupt a class like that? Especially at that level, the other students are paying to be there. You did the right thing. Heart, heart, heart.